As we use Seesaw for the main communication platform for elementary teachers in Northwest ISD, I want to show how Google Drive and Google Classroom can be married into Seesaw so that you can use Seesaw to communicate, but still utilize Google Classroom and Google Slides for your students as a way for them to complete work. We're going to look at three options. 1, linking to a specific Google Classroom activity within Seesaw. 2, uploading Google Slides to Seesaw. And 3, linking to the Classwork page to make work easy to find for students and families. I have some really awesome SEL daily check-in slides I want my students to complete. I could put these into Seesaw in one of two ways. In this option, when students go to add a response, you will see that I have screenshot the activity in Google Classroom, and when students click on the link, they can complete their slides in Classroom. So this activity is set up so that students go into Google Classroom, they open their Google Slides, they complete the Google Slides, and then I'm wanting them to make a note in Seesaw whenever they have finished the activity. If you're teaching upper elementary grades, the nice thing about adding slides to Google Classroom is that students get to interact in Google Slides. So they can type in the text boxes, they can do their draggables, they really get used to working within Google Slides. They can still annotate in slides in Seesaw, but it just looks a little bit different. So let's take a look at that real quick. This next option, these are the same slides, but this time the slides have been uploaded to Seesaw rather than linking to Google Classroom. So here you can see that students can still go in and add a selfie by clicking the camera tool. They could then record their favorite part of summer, or they could go to the text box. And it's just a little bit different because they're going to go ahead and type in Seesaw and then move the text box where they want it to go. And then I click over here to Advanced Pages. Instead of dragging the little square, I would use my annotation tools to circle how I'm feeling. And then note that I've made a note here that students can type in their response. I feel this way because, or they could record. So it's kind of up to you as the teacher to decide how you want them to do that. But the only learning curve here is learning how to create labels and move them within the box rather than typing directly in the text box. They would go to their third page, they can save a draft if they're not finished, and then click the green check whenever they are done. End up uploading slides to Seesaw. One really neat feature is the record across pages. So students could actually type in and record their response on page 1, and then pause, go to page 2, continue recording, 3, and then once they're finished with their recording, they'll click on done, and you'll see that it's going to add a page to the very beginning of the activity with all of the recording here. So that's one neat option if you do upload slides to Seesaw. Another neat way to utilize Google Classroom with Seesaw is to go ahead and link to the Classwork page. So maybe you've designed your Classwork section so that it's organized by week or by subject. So I can simply link to Classwork, and by that I mean this page right here. So I'm linking them directly to Classwork where you can have everything organized like you want it right here. So when you just go to Google Classroom, it takes you to the stream, but most teachers keep Classroom organized by the Classwork page. So in my Seesaw announcement, I could say, check out this week's Classwork section of Google Classroom, and then it will link me directly to the Classwork page. Note that in this Seesaw announcement, I have also screenshot that week and then showed maybe some due dates. So you can also add some images to help guide students and families as well. And also a note that, parents can't sign into Google Classroom necessarily, but they can sign in with their child to see their work. I'll quickly show how to accomplish those three options. So if I wanted to post an announcement, I simply go to Send Announcement. And then here, note that I can take a screenshot of my Classwork page if I wanted to. So maybe I'm going to screenshot a certain week for them using the screenshot tool of your choice. I'm using GreenShot. And then here, I can go ahead and upload my photo by going to Upload, select from Computer. Note that I could have up to 9 different images if I did have a bunch of things I needed to add. I could also record here to kind of walk through students through the week and what to do that week, or I can annotate, I can add text boxes, and then click the check mark when I'm finished. So now this image is here, and I can also link to Classwork simply by going to my Classwork page, copying the link in the top section, and pasting it in. Then I get to choose if I want to send to students, families, or all students and families. So this is really helpful during remote learning to keep everybody on the same page. In order to create those activities, we went to the plus sign and assign activity, and then we had two options. Number one, I can go to create new activity. You can title it and give any instructions that you want to. But when I go to add template, if I wanted to add Google Slides to Seesaw so that they're doing all of their work in Seesaw, I simply go here to upload, select from Google Drive, and then choose the slides that I am interested in. Note that this is going to pull in the slides exactly like they are. I can go ahead and add some text boxes for some more specific instructions. So maybe I want to pull these over here, let them know to use the microphone, whatever that is. I could add arrows, anything you want to add, but it pulls the slides in here so that students are going to be editing in Seesaw. Note that means students will have the record option. They can still use the camera, but they will be adding labels and moving those labels around rather than editing like they're in Google Slides. When I click on the green check, the template is now added for students. It's a really good idea to have a title and instructions. You can always add voice instructions as well, and then click Save. So that is adding slides to Seesaw for students to edit in Seesaw. The other option is to add an activity. Maybe I want my students to use Google Slides. I want them to get familiar with Google Slides. I already have the activity in Google Slides. What you can do here is create a new activity, and I can go ahead and link to the slides I have assigned in Classroom. So a lot of us are familiar with it assigning slides in Classroom. So here you can tell I've got it assigned as make a copy for every student. I can click on the three dots here and copy link. And then I can go ahead and create a template. So I just really want to do a drawing. And then what I did was provide a screenshot. So I just went to Insert and Upload, and I found that screenshot. In order to hyperlink this, I'm going to click on the three dots, link, and paste in, that link from Classroom. So remember, that link was just found by clicking the three dots here, copy link, and that's what I'm going to paste here. So whenever students click on this little link icon, it's going to take them directly to Google Classroom to complete the slides. So it's just neat to see that if you do want to put everything in Seesaw, you can actually just link them directly to Google Classroom. Now you don't have to do this. You could just, tell them to complete work in Classroom, but it's nice to know that this is here. And then they can click on the check mark so that you know they are finished with the activity. The nice thing about keeping activities in Seesaw is that you can go in and see who's completed the activity. Google Classroom, how you can see who has completed work. You can click on the gray bar here. Notice I'm on Activities. Click on the gray bar. It's going to show everybody that the work's been assigned to and if they have completed the activity or not. Seesaw as your main platform for students to interact, or simply if you use it to communicate with family and students, it's really nice to see how Google Drive and Google Classroom fit well into your Seesaw class.